Today is November 16th, 2015. This is Safeguard Guidelines on how to protect you and your family in the United States and beyond from hackers, attackers, and Trojan horses and all kinds of viruses on social media and the internet. There are no guarantees that this protocol is working the way that it should, but these are some safeguards, and the general populace makes these mistakes. So in the current events, if you read the current events and what's going on, you can read in between the lines and see the actual threat that's going on, and there could be a threat to you and to your families. So I'm going to help you out today and to give you a couple of procedures that will help you have a safe journey online. Number one, if you're on Facebook, you want to put your account on private. The more you have your account on public, the more vulnerable you become to eyes prying in Facebook. All somebody has to do is actually have an account and they can see what you're chatting about. If you have people that are strangers trying to befriend you on any social media networks, you want to not, if you do not know them, you do not want to accept their friend request. You want to just stay away from that for right now. No friend requesting and chatting. If somebody messages you through Instagram or through WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, whatever venue they're using, whatever app they're using, you want to double check, because often what these perpetrators will do is they'll hack into somebody's account, and it might be your friend's account, and you'll never even know it, and they'll start chatting with you to get pertinent information, like what your mother's maiden name, the date and time you were born. They'll stimulate some kind of conversation like that so they can actually get into your accounts, birthdays, birth years, these kind of things. So when they say, trying to get into your main email, they'll say something like forgot email, then it says ask security questions, and they could go through those questions. So those are one of the things you really want to be careful with in communication. If you do have a friend that you do know, or anybody who starts asking questions like this, you don't want to speak to them at all. A friend that starts asking personal questions, you want to actually call them on the phone to verify if that's really them or not. Because again, if somebody hacks into their account and poses as them, getting personal or important information from you or about someone else, you've just compromised your security. So that would be that part. The other thing is Twitter's kind of harder to control because people could follow you, but you do want to see who's following you on Twitter if you start getting requests now, and especially if they don't have profile pictures. Most of the time people won't, if they're kind of sketchy or they're strange, they won't put up profile pictures, or it would just be weird stuff. You want to unfriend them and block them. That's the safest guard you could go. Same thing on Facebook, same thing on Instagram, and report any suspicious activity. There's plenty of websites right now that you could contact suspicious activity with the current events that are going on right now. And if you do, then that will safeguard you and your family. For parents that have children, you immediately want to get some safety on your cell phones. You want to start teaching your family these things. There's an app that you could use both on all different versions of phone, and it's called Lookout. And Lookout allows you to do some tracking and tell you if somebody's checking into your phone that shouldn't be checking into your phone. There's a free version and there's a premium version. So that's called Lookout. I believe it's lookout.com. You could go to, if not, go to your app store and you can see it in there. So just like you would have virus protection on your computers, you would want to have it on your cell phone, especially because obviously everybody's using their cell phone. At nighttime, you want to turn off all of your communications on your cell phones so that someone's not chatting with you and keeping that chat window open. You want to log out of your accounts, Facebook, when you're done using them, log out. If somebody sends you a link and says, hey, check this out, see what they're saying about you, do not click on those links. Again, only click on things or communicate with people that you actually know, and then double safeguard it by calling them and say, hey, did you send me a link, and what is the link about? Verbally with that person. If they say, yes, I did send you a link, this is what it's about, then it's okay. But make sure that person originated that link. If they did not, and they're sharing some other spam that someone else shared, potentially that contains a virus. Those viruses can create passwords on your phones. They can track your phones with perpetrators. So you want to really be safe about these things. These are general things. This is not very hard to do at all, but at this time, you should take it to one level of security above what you're doing right now. On all your accounts, on all your social media accounts or your bank accounts, you want to have your phone as a additional feature that where you would have a security check. So that security check you want to do is you want to have that if somebody forgets the password, they send you a link or there's an option to send a text message to your cell phone. That's always the best way to go, because if you have your cell phone and that's the way you do it, then that's how you're going to be notified. You want to put on your cell phone, in case you lose it, Lookout will do this as well. They will have a feature on there where you can delete all your data, back it up to the cloud, and then if your phone is lost or stolen, they can't get that information. So you want to put a password on your cell phone so that it's just not open. Parents, you want to check your children's phones and make sure that they understand this, that this is a new day, that we're taking extra security, because with what we're hearing in current events, you will notice that they're using social media to recruit people to the enemy side, whatever they might be doing to create a terrorist threat or hacking or any of those kind of things, they're going to use social media. So those are some of the things that you want to take precautionaries right now. You can share this audio. Do not reveal where it came from. Just give people this information, because they will delete information like this. On Facebook and Messenger, there's certain keywords that you use, and if you use those keywords, they will delete your threads or possibly delete your account, potentially thinking that you might be on the other side. So you do want to take precautionaries there. On anything that has to do with geolocations or check-ins, you want to be extra careful. If you do not know what I mean when I say check-ins and geolocations, you should Google them right away. I do not have enough time to explain this to you all in this short little audio, but I'm giving you the highlights and the outline to Google these security issues. You do not, at this point in time, want to check in. You do not want to use your geolocations on your cell phones when you're taking pictures. Especially, Facebook has a feature in Facebook Messenger that tracks your geolocation. Make sure that is turned off. It tracks you down precisely to the place where you're at. So if you're at your home and you're chatting with somebody, all they have to do is click on that link and it shows them exactly where you're at and where you live. So you do want to turn off those features. The same thing in Instagram, Snapchat, all of them straight across the board. Twitter especially always tries to log you into a GPS location tracker. You want to turn off all of those. Especially at nighttime, when you're going to bed, turn off your GPS. So if somebody's trying to hack into your phone or track it, they cannot track that. Now, mind you, parents, if it's your children, you want to actually leave them on during the day, the GPS, because Lookout could track them if you decide to use that app. And I'll let you go into the Lookout and see the features. I won't explain that here, but do look at that app for that information. So that's basically it. I highly recommend you start Googling in each social media the different security features and put it at the highest security you can get it on. I would not continue posting private information about yourself, especially about birthdays, where you're having your birthday at. I know everybody likes to share that kind of information, celebrations, but this is a really, really high security thing we're talking about right now. That's going on in the current events. Just look at your news, go into the news feeds, and you'll see what I'm talking about. For pertinent information that you're sharing, do not share that anymore. I would go through my friends list. Anybody that looks suspicious, delete them out of your friends, block them, get rid of them. Anybody saying anything weird or awkward, report them to any of the social network websites and what have you, to make sure that those people are being reported. This is a time when people see current events like this, that it kind of attracts these kind of crazy people to where they want to be some kind of notables, that where they could be recognized. And this is where we get the news with bad information and what have you. But if each and every one of us will be responsible for our own selves and our own families and our own places and our people and friends and family, and you spread this message, we will be safe. Like I said, there's no guarantee. Now, if you're so concerned about all of this, there are other alternatives, and that is to go what we call go dark. Delete your Facebook account. In reality, it will not delete your account. It will turn it off. But during this period of time of this high alert, I would recommend that if you have issues with this on securities and people seeing what you're saying and what have you, then turn it off. Now, as far as business goes, businesses have to do business. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about personal people communicating on the social networks. And they love to talk about that and tell other people what they're doing. So I hope this helps. And like I said, the key points here are the current events. Check your current events and look up social networks in the current events, what they're saying and doing, how they're using that as a tool. And then also look up in each social networking that you're doing. Each one has a security tab or help or how to, put your security on high alert in the Facebook and Instagram and all these other different social networks that you're using. Thank you very much.